Okay, we'll bring the meeting to order. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. Bowman here. Laporte.
Here.
Patterson.
Here.
Addie.
Here.
Frazier.
Here.
Honey.
Here.
Rush.
Here.
Okay, to approve agenda.
So moved. Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Public comment? No public comment. New business? New business, consider approval of ballot language for the police protection millage.
So moved. Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Which one?
We got, we gotta open it up, we gotta open for discussion now.
Discussion, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to make it a
We just
2-minute
approved the
meeting.
ballot language,
You're trying to set
basically, so,
Try to set the record for the fastest meeting.
all four of them.
Almost got it.
I guess we give Rob the chair and let him,
Yeah, just real quick here, you've got, what I did is the first page is a new millage, looking at a 4 mill, which is, let's see, where am I? Yeah, I'm sorry, 3 mill is the first one, which raises 1,457,330. That's what we would be, well, a little bit less than that, because the rollback is what the rollback is. This is, obviously, there's no rollback here because this is a new one, but it's close. So that would be, if we renewed it, we'd be looking at somewhere in that range. This gives us all like a reset on everything, so it's 1,457,330. And if you go to the 4 mills, it's $1,943,107. So either one of the 3 or the 4 is a new millage, one ballot question, that's it. To renew what we have and obtain the same level of funding that we have close with the rollback is, we'd be looking at 2 questions. It's kind of where we're at. It's not kind of where, that's where we're at.
So basically, in short, what we have, and, Rob, is that we have two different mills in place right now. We have a 1 and we have a 2. And what we had discussed before too is, I think that obviously where are we at, like 3.4 million on the account, on the budget?
yeah, the last
So-
2 years been right around 3.4 million has
Yeah.
been the police budget.
Yeah, so even like right now, we're currently bringing in about, well, less than half. It was half, so again, my quick estimation was that even if we're still, like, if we were consuming 6, but, levying 3, well, it's about half. Now if we go to 4 and we're consuming 7 or 7.1 or 7.5 is what has been proposed, we're still under mill, but it's not, we're not increasing drastically in the millage, is what, the way I'm taking it.
Right.
If we ask for an increase of 1 mil to 4.
Right.
Yeah, we're still underfunded by.
We're still dramatically underfunded,
Yeah, by
but we have
about
to.
1.4 million, and the issue is, I think, do we have the date the last time the millage was more than, when we set the 1 and the 2? Chief, do you remember?
2's been
At
around
least 20,
forever.
I mean, maybe 20 years?
We added the 1,
Yeah,
I believe it was around 2011.
yeah, so for 24 years, we've had the same millage, but every year your costs go up for that department to operate. And it's been 24 years since we've increased the millage or asked the residents to increase the millage to offset those increases.
So the 4 mill will cover things, or will it still be behind?
We'd
Still be behind.
still be dramatically
Yeah.
behind, but like,
So-
we'd be even from where we were like 3 years ago as far as dollar per dollar underfunding. But and when we say underfunding, we have obviously royalty revenues coming and stuff like that, and that's what helps to offset this. So to save the residents money, if we did not, just being totally clear on it, if we lost the revenue, it'd be a completely different story. We're talking about either dramatic cuts, we talk about either dramatic cuts in the police, losing half the police force or whatever the case may be, but that is what's helping to keep the costs lower for the residents. But right now, like, we've had such an increase in cost even just in the last 4 or 5 years. At one point or another, maybe these 3 mills, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe Chief, like, it might have been closer to break even, but over the past,
Well, they were coming in less back then too, don't forget.
yeah, well, I mean, not as much
The
less.
numbers here per year are way above what they were in the past. It was more like in the $300,000, $320 maybe range, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. So these are quite more than that.
Mm.
And I heard Rob talking, maybe that's because of inflation.
Mhm.
Well, we get assessments go up at inflation or 5%, whichever's less. So there hasn't been a 5% until recently, just given the last few years of inflation, but for the longest time, they never even hit the 5% that I recall.
I think the last time so 4 years ago, the bill was like 1.1.
Yeah.
Coming in between the three of them together.
Right.
It increased by $1,000.
So you have police expenses going up, given additional regulations and requirements unrelated to just simple cost of living, and we had not, the millage rates or the collection was less, we didn't do the same level as the millage didn't give us the same percentage increase as what the true
Correct.
cost was.
Yeah,
Rob, did you say that this was affected by the Headley rollback too?
No,
The policeman, okay.
not
I thought you said,
until,
when you said the rollback, I thought you were.
I was talking about the renewals.
Yep.
Gotcha.
To flush the police department, you'd need 7 mils total, right now. But you'd need 7 mils total to cover the budget. That would be right at $3.4 million, but.
That would make them solvent.
That would make them solvent.
Like the fires.
7 mils, and
It would
and we
take-
currently
yeah.
have,
We have 3 mils, so we'd have to increase it 4 mils instead of 1 mil to make them flush.
is that what
So
we
you're
have? in
talking
mind?
about renewing.
No, it's so, but again, just to clear that, and that's was my concern, is that this could be misconstrued. When we're talking about 4 mils, we don't want it to think, it's like, we're currently assessing, if we're talking about like, yeah, 7 mils will make us flush, we're currently assessing 3. This is not an additional 4 proposal. If one of the options is not additional 4 to make it 7, it's just still saying 4.
Yeah.
We would still be underfunded. This is just no renewals of old millages, just a 4 mil proposal. Either,
No, I was just giving you the number, Everett. Somebody asked what would we needed to be flush, it would be 7 mils just to be
Correct.
flush currently. Next
Yeah.
year, that would not be able to
Right.
cover the
I was
expense.
just bringing that up because I heard a lot of residents, as much as we tried to explain it ad nausea, a lot of the public was even with the fire department, like, so this is a new 2 mil above and beyond?
The
No.
language is gonna be confusing because no matter which way we go, if we just renew the 2 we have, it's 2 ballot questions, but any increase, it's a brand new millage.
Right.
And
Yep.
so the marketing on it and the discussion will have to be very,
Yeah,
very
Chair.
clear.
That's what I was gonna say, Matt. This community, for as long as I've lived here, very supportive of our PD and FD. I mean, there's never been a question, but I think on this one, we'll have to have a good advertising campaign to educate the public, to show them, here's the numbers. And, it'd be pretty simple. Here's what the police budget costs us per year, and here's what your millage is paying for.
I don't believe that we're allowed to endorse or pro-campaign for it with public
But
money.
you can put information up on the
You could put
website.
informational statistics up for the public.
Right.
But, and also this millage can only be spent, if it's voted and passed, can only be spent on police operations.
Yeah.
It cannot be spent anywhere else in the community, just to be clear.
And that was a concern before when we talked about combining them into one, is the fact you can't use that renewal language. And it does say impose an increase. Even if we were to go for the same 3 mils, if you tried to put them both on the one ballot question, that's the way it comes out. So you have to get the word out that even if you were to go with that, which doesn't sound like you are, that this is not an increase of what they're already paying, it would be the same thing they're paying. So that's gonna be very, important to get the word out on that, however it's out there. But it's not an increase. This will be, the 4 will be an increase, obviously, but like, trustee Patterson was saying, it's not 4 on top of what they're already paying. Because they can really construe that the wrong way.
I hate this language.
So how long is it gonna be before we have to do this again, next year?
That's what I was wondering, like, if we already need over 7 mil to be flush, why aren't we going for like 6 mil? We're still under budgeted, but at that point, we're saving for the next 10 years, having to go out for a millage. You know what I mean?
As a general law township, how many mills can we
Oh,
go for?
it's, I mean, there's a lot. I don't have the exact number, but we're not close to it.
Not close
No,
to it, like
no.
10 or something?
No, it's like, there's like 20-something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, there's limits on what you can do, but, I mean, you can ask them to fund everything, or a lot of things.
Yeah.
I just haven't memorized it, because we haven't been anywhere close to it.
And, you know, I wanna make it clear, this increase is a small increase. We haven't increased our police millage in 24 years.
2011.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry, so it's been, 15 years. This increase only bridges the current deficiency we have right now. And if the landfill revenues go down, if, you know, things happen there, we'll be right back to the deficiency. This assumes all the other revenues stay steady from the landfill, property tax, all of those things stay steady, then things move forward smoothly. But any of those pieces of that puzzle get reduced, we are, you know, going to be right back at the same issue. We're gonna be running a deficit.
So why are we not going out for more if we're gonna be back
That's-
in this?
Can you give would we give a choice? Could we give a choice, like 4 or a 5, and then try to explain to people to where that maybe they would go for the 5?
You'd have to have 2 separate ballot proposals,
Right.
one to vote no and one
Is
to
there a
vote.
reason why we didn't go
Then
way higher?
you're gonna
I
cause
just-
confusion.
Oh, I
'cause now
know,
there's
I
two
know, but-
Whatever you
things.
want.
Chair, can we, hear from our township manager?
Thank you. I think that the board should spend at least a little time discussing the amount, the length of the millage. I mean, it says 4 years, but you could do longer than 4 years. You could do 5 or 10 years. You should at least have a few minutes of discussion as to the exact length. Because in 4 years, we'll be back here again, talking about the same thing, if this were to pass. The other thing I just want to point out, Robin, I don't mean to be critical of the language here, but the 4 mil proposal, the second line from the bottom still says 3.
He already showed that to me,
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah. That's what happens when you're rewriting them every way till Sunday, but, yeah.
I know.
I've got it circled, so I will send Sam the right one tomorrow, yeah.
Chair?
Thank you, Ken.
So what you said, extended it, but that would kind of defeat the purpose, because if we're falling behind every year, we don't wanna wait to 10 years to ask for something again. Cause now you know, the gap's gonna just keep going. So if you stretch it out to 10, it'll probably be even worse in the long run.
But if we go for, say, 6 mil.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about just extending it, because even if you go for the 6, it's still gonna, eventually, if you go 10 years, there's gonna be a gap.
Right, but right now, we're 3.1 mils behind. If we went for 4 and got 4, we'd still be 3.1
Oh, I'm
behind.
not saying that, I'm just saying not to extend it for the period of time, because the gap will grow. The longer you go for it, I'm good with going up, but extending the time that it's good for.
Yeah, I
is
just
what I'm
think that
saying.
if you don't put a length of time out like that, the residents are gonna have an issue, because say in 4 years, okay, so right now we go up to 6 mil. In 4 years, the board comes back and now it's 8 mil, 9 mil. Or at least if they know they got longevity for the next 10 years, it's gonna stay at 6 mil, they're gonna be more.
But what if the
supportive of
gap
that.
is getting bigger and bigger, worse than it is now?
Yeah,
That's what
'cause
I'm
we
saying.
might have to
So-
change it
So
anyways.
if you stretched it out to 10, and we should have probably raised it again here, now all these years, that
Well,
gap
you
is
can
just
always go
growing.
out for a second one. That's how we got 2 to begin with.
So we could go out for another one if that was
Yeah.
But
happening.
not only that, we're shutting down, instead of being 3.1 mil shy of being flush, we're only 1.1 mil shy. So it's gonna be a longer length of time before we're back to being 5 mil shy of being flush.
Yeah, but 10 years is still a long
So,
time.
can I have the floor?
That can be until.
So, if we're looking at a 3 mil, if we just do the general increase where we're at right now in a $250,000 house in the township, that equates to about $750 annually for police protection for that household.
That's at three.
For what kind of?
That's at 3 mills, at a $250,000 house. If you go to 4 mills,
You're talking about taxable value.
taxable value,
So maybe a $500,000 cash value or something
well, it
like
would be double that then, right?
that. Yeah, if it's SCV, you're right. Yeah,
Right,
if
so
you're basing it off
if
of
you're,
that.
if you're looking at going at 4 mills for a $250,000 house, you're looking at about $1,000 of police protection
So it's basically
annually.
$250 a mil.
Yeah.
It's basically
well,
$250 a mil.
It's
Based upon that,
$6 a thousand on 6%, a 6 mil millage
Yeah.
per $1,000
Exactly
taxable
right.
value.
If you have a roughly, an estimated house of 500, a taxable value of $250,000, you'd be about $250 extra with the 1 mil increase extra. You're already paying, like you said, you're
Already,
you're already paying the, the 3.
750.
It
You're
would
already
be-
paying
You're already paying
the-
750, but you'd be paying
So it's
1,000.
not gonna raise it that much.
I
It's
try
just
to
gonna
look
raise
right
the
around the
extra.
250 number.
Right.
Because those are the people that are in, I'd say, taking an educated guess, that most of our houses are right around that 250
The
value.
average value in Sumpter Township is
Right.
$253,000.
I would
Not the
guess
average
something about
value.
that, average.
The average taxable value.
I'm just saying the average value is $253,000.
So half that.
What I read it.
Yeah.
Not taxable, but, so it's lower than that.
I'm sorry?
Well, then that's, you guys are talking different.
Right, well,
Right,
that's the
right.
SEV, right?
Actual value and taxable value,
Or different.
different.
Yeah.
No.
It is the SEV.
No, if you're going off SEVs, that's obviously different, right?
Well, because that's what you're gonna present to the public, is what the actual tax, you can't base it on their.
Your
Then I would
tax
say
bill has- Your
the
tax bill has SCV and actual, or,
taxable value, it doesn't say
There's
SEV on
Yeah,
the ballot
it has
language.
taxable value on your tax bill.
Well, again, if a
It's-
layman like myself is going to look at the ballot proposal and look at I'm not gonna see my SEV on here, it's gonna say taxable value.
That's what I'm saying, is that.
And I know taxable value in my head equates to how much money comes out of my pocket for what think my house is worth.
The $750 you said, is that the correct number for a house that's worth $250,000, but
No, no.
SEV?
No, he was saying if you have a taxable, that's what's so confused about the whole thing. If you have a taxable value of $250,000, means you might have an actual value of $500,000. So if you have an actual value of $500,000, then you might be paying $750 currently a year.
but that's not the average.
I don't think that's the average, myself either.
Oh, no.
Chief, if you take a look at this, the example is 1 mil is $1 per 1,000 taxable value. So 1 mil is gonna be $250 a year, 3 mils is $750 a year. If you add a 4th mil, that's gonna be 1,000.
Can you repeat that for me, please?
The 1 mil is about $1 per 1,000 of taxable value. So if your taxable value of your house is $250,000, you will be paying $250 a year for police protection per mil that's assessed.
And we're currently doing 3 mills.
We're currently doing 3.
That's where I got the 750
The-
number from,
the-
$750.
Yeah.
So the 750 was not the total, it was on top of what we already paid.
No,
That's just what we're doing right now.
that's what you're already paying. That's what we're all paying right now.
Okay.
And they're looking to add to that so that we don't go in the hole with our police department.
Well, we already are. in
Well,
the
yeah,
hole.
but I mean further in the hole.
So, if I may too, when did we do the fire millage increase? Just a year and a half ago?
Yes.
So, back when I was researching it back then, what I came is the average median household at that time, obviously household increases have gone up probably here over the last couple of years, was approximately $200,000, average value. Overall, if you were to sell your house in the market, $200,000. Actual cash value, taxable value around $100,000. So when we were proposing that, I just remember thinking and I made out that rough estimate sheet, so what we're proposing in the fire department, apples, and we went from was it 1 to 1.5, we're only assessing 1.5, it was only that 0.5 increase, which really only estimated, it equated to $50 extra on a house that was actually valued at $200,000, $50 only extra a year. With the police, what we have right now is then in that same estimate, if we use that same time, same estimate, it'd be, because it's 3 mills, it'd be that same household would be paying $300 per year. Now they would be paying with this 4 mil, $400 per year, an increase of only 100. That's, if that makes sense. So if we're using apples for apples from the year and a half ago, that same application would apply.
Historically, the argument or the concern was, we dealt with inflation more years ago. And remember that if it's, there's a Headley rollback every year. So to go out 10 years, you're gonna get hit with the rollback as you continue, which is less money. And as Tim said, we never had a problem getting a millage, police millage passed in the township. And also, we wanted to be on opposite years than the fire department, just so that you weren't running both of them at the same time. So each of them were at 4 is why we overlapped it that way. So that's just, again, you can do it as you please, but I'm just letting you know the historical thing. The concern was the rollback. The further you go out, the rollback is deeper. And we didn't want to step on the fire department. And we had a high level of confidence that the voters understood that there's a need for both fire protection and police protection in the township. You know, at some point, it's going to be more of a struggle. I don't know where that number is. I mean, I wouldn't think it's at 4. I don't know where it is. Your question about can you run 2 at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, the answer is yeah, but I think the one
Be
that
more
gets the most.
confusion.
Well, there's a lot of confusion, yeah, and sometimes they just get confused about knowing everything. But if the 5 got more votes than the 4, then the 5 would be the one that would control. If the 4 got more votes than the 5, then the 4 would be the one to control. So you're not asking for 9.
Right.
So, a quick question on this. So this does get affected by the Headley rollback?
Yeah. No, next year it does.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I-
Overall, the millage.
Right, yeah, every
is-
year.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the point I wanted to make on that then is that if it's been since 2011, the Headley rollback is, and this is something that I feel like the board should address at some point, other with our admin fee. We get a 1 mil admin fee for the township for what we collect in taxes. And that 1 mil, it's just at 1%. Well, now it's not 1, it's 0.87 from all the Headley rollbacks. I think the clerk's office is familiar with that. So we've lost almost, I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but on a per mil basis, about $23,000 is what we've lost over all the years because we haven't renewed our admin fee, and it's been affected by the Headley rollback. So if that carries over on a 1 mil, we could be losing approximately $69,000 right now from the Headley rollbacks from the previous police millages slowly getting rolled back and rolled back and rolled back. We're not actually getting 3 mil right now. I don't know what the actual number is, but we are losing some revenue because of that. I don't know I still don't really understand what the whole Headley rollback is for. Like, prices go up and increase, why do we get things taken away? It doesn't make
Exactly.
sense, so.
Well, if we considered moving it to 5, you'd be looking at 2.4 million, $2,428,884, which is still $1 million less than what the current police budget is.
Recall, you got another crack at this in November, but you also don't want to get people interested or comfortable in voting no, and it's never happened in this township, where we've never lost a millage, at least in the 40 years I've been here.
Well, also be aware too, I'm sorry, like, there's something that's being proposed, I can't remember if it's $1.5 million or what's this, the whole Wayne County Transit thing that's coming up this year.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
gonna-
that's crazy.
Yeah, like, we've talked about so many times, everybody's just taxed all out, and, I mean, my own personal opinion, I'll keep that to myself on this whole Wayne County Transit thing, but everybody I've talked to, nobody's been in favor of it, especially out
Yep.
here. So, hopefully, the residents could just get like, forget it, no on everything, and that's what we want to avoid too as well. So, big time campaign ad, like information, water bills, Facebook posts, whatever the case is, however we can do it. We can give our own personal opinion, but we can't use taxpayer dollars to promote it.
Well,
We have
I
to be
think-
very informative.
No, I think, we need to focus on what do we want. We know about the marketing, right? We know we gotta hit it with the water bills and stuff. And we're in the 11th hour already. It's already May. And this is coming up the first part of August, so you got only a couple of water bills going out to the rest of the residents in this time. So we gotta hit it hard. But, we need to decide on whether we wanna take it to 4 or if we wanna take it to 5.
I'd still say 6.
Sure, can I make a clarification? I know this is important, this might go out on the internet stuff, and we have a citizen value of Sumpter right now is $252,000, so the SEV is 125. So my numbers say the average homeowner right now for our three mills pays $375 a year. I mean, it's important because we've thrown some much bigger numbers out there than what we're paying now. So if I'm not mistaken, that's the average in Sumpter is $375 for police protection. Am I correct on that?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
For
like,
750,
it
I
makes
heard
sense, it's
1,000, and you
increased a
start
little
throwing
bit.
that out there.
Well, I was just going off the value of the
Yeah,
house,
I
not
thought
the
maybe-
SEV.
I thought maybe I was wrong, so it's 375 is the average right now. So it'd be 125 for each mill,
Times 3. Yep.
4 mills will bring in $500.
you know, so.
$2 a day, less than $2 a day.
Yeah, that's what, somebody might, that might be the only thing they hear about this on, you know, on the, Channel 12 and make their decision based on that, and that would be.
This is how easy it is to get misconstrued, right? I mean, when people start thinking of value of their home, they instantly thinking about market value. They're not thinking about the taxable or SEV value of their house. Nobody looks at their SEV and says, oh, I'm gonna sell my house for what the SEV is.
So, I mean, using Chief's figures, which I believe are accurate, if we go with a 4 mil proposal, it's $125 more than what they're currently paying. If we go with a 5 mil, it's $250 more annually than what they're paying, and $375 if it's a 6 mil. More than, like, so what, yeah. You take your shoes off?
I'm just twitching. It does that when I think about money.
When you feel like you're spending money?
Unfortunately, it's always hard to have more money even in good times. But the conversation that was had before was how much a hamburger costs at McDonald's and how much, you get 2 bags of groceries for $100. Not really making.
Oh, like we were just
Maybe
talking,
3 bags, but it's not a lot.
$20 to go get a fast food meal.
And that's the dilemma
Yeah.
here is, obviously, the department and township needs to capture more tax money to help fund the police department. But what a terrible time to have to do that. When gas is $4.75 and everything.
My fuel's $5.89.
Well, and I think the key there is.
That's if I can find it for that.
Chief, like you said, this is not for more services. This is just to maintain the current level of services we have.
Chair? I don't know, given that the numbers we've finally come down to, I'm kind of leaning myself towards 6. I mean, if we're gonna ask for it, get it, and we're still underwater.
Right. It's not like we're making something up.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's the truth.
Right.
Lay the truth on them. I mean, I'm gonna have to pay it
Well,
too.
you know what,
me
it
too.
comes down to quality of life. Could you imagine if our police department dissolved and we're paying Wayne County to come in here?
They don't come out
You-
here.
we wouldn't even see them.
You can't pay Wayne County. Wayne County does not do road patrol. They're not gonna come out here and take a contract.
Exactly. I mean, the
So-
quality of life would
So
go to hell.
who would police us, state police?
You'd be left just like Augusta Township for the state police.
Good luck having any of them around.
I've never seen state police in Sumpter.
I believe the last community that the sheriff's department had a contract with, this was probably, don't quote me on the time, probably 10 years ago. I think it was Hamtramck, wasn't it?
Inkster.
Was it Inkster?
Yeah, I think they're still over in Inkster.
Not the, well, the MSP is in Inkster a lot. I don't think the sheriff's department.
The sheriff's still there because they all eat, they eat their lunch at the Red Apple of Vinoy, Michigan. I know exactly where they're at.
The rest are over at the
The red
donut
apple.
shop.
And where I'm at is I'm basically at a
That was
4.
back in the Baby Huey days.
And we talked, in the past, when this came up 20 years ago, you know, the conversation always was like, well, we're gonna go, we'll go with them, but don't forget, if somebody's coming from the sheriff's department, if they did have that kind of setup, if somebody was arrested, they would have to go back to the sheriff's department downtown.
That's a long drive.
Or the state police would have to go back to, Metro South on Telegraph Road. It's not like they have someplace here, they're gone. So, you can ask people in Augusta Township how that's working out.
I
know.
Well, again, it's a quality of life issue.
Well, I know two state police
Everybody's
officers
had,
that actually
especially
live
the
in
residents.
township. They're, one lives on Willow Road and the other one lives on Talladega. They keep their cars at home.
Oh, yeah.
So, Chair, like if I make, so like where I'm at, I mean, Mr. Roche said where he's at, I'm like, I'm definitely a yes on a 4. I would, like at least where I'm considered 4, 5, maybe I don't feel comfortable with a 6. As if I'm taking off my trustee hat and putting on a resident hat, I'd be saying like we're saying with the entire federal government, why don't you guys stop raising our taxes and start working on how much you're spending? Start being more fiscally responsible with what you're spending. That's what we all say when we're not wearing trustee hats, so we can practice what we preach to as
Is there
well.
any way to
Absolutely.
make
So
cuts?
how many police officers do you wanna lay off? Cause I'm totally with that, cause
Yeah,
we're already underwater.
Yeah, I just said lay off our police officers. Is that what you heard me say?
I'm just asking, if
That's
we
what you
don't
heard me
have the
say?
money to fund
I
them,
said our
I-
township as a whole, Mr. Frazier. I did
I'm
not
talking
say
strictly
lay off our
police.
police officers.
I'm talking strictly
Okay.
police. If we don't have the money to fund them.
And I'm saying
How do
strictly our overall spending.
Well, you know, Chair, if I could chime in. We gotta remember, this is part of the entire budget. And our royalties fund some of it, and right now, we're starting to run a deficit. We're starting we don't have enough revenue coming in. So what we're looking to do is to bridge that gap so that we have some breathing room and we're not getting towards that deficit. Doing 5 mills would end up bringing in about $1 million more per year than what we're currently bringing in, which, you know, I think will bridge that gap. It doesn't give us much to do anymore in the community, right? It's all, the other side of it is, if we're already running a deficit, you know, or at that level of starting to run a deficit because we haven't increased our millage in 15 years, you know, all that's doing is keeping everything right here. We can't provide any additional services to the residents. We can't, you know, do any of that.
That's at
type of
5
stuff.
mil? Or,
I'm just saying in general, you know,
Oh.
5 gives us about $1 million more in revenue, that, you know, shores up the budget. It would be, you know, short term, you know, I mean, things are going up. I mean, every year we got, you know, 3% or 4% increases in wages, and we just had a 16% increase in insurance.
Yep.
For the township, you know, for the cost of insurance. I mean, everything is going up. And so we do have to be cautious of how long this money will last and how long before we'll have to increase it again. But we're also taking it in as a whole, right? Right now, we've been running really good the last few years, right at a break or a little bit of surplus, but now we're starting to hit that deficit and we don't have that extra money. We just had to put $1 million out for Judd Road.
Yep.
So we won't have the funds to do those kind of projects if we don't go to at least 5.
well, does it make sense to go for 6 if 5's just gonna put us right there?
5's gonna give us about $1 million more in revenue. Doesn't flush the police department, but it shores up our budget.
It's at 950,000. I had what did you have per mill on it? Was it about 475 or something?
It's 2.4 million, 2,428,884. It's $485,000 a mill.
Yep.
Now, if you wanna run it to the pennies, I'll get my calculator out, Mark.
I had like 475, 480, so yeah.
$1 million. And this is serious business because, you know, the residents have to come up with the money. We all here at this table have to come up, you know, with the money, you know, to ensure that we maintain a quality police department and also quality services here. This is part of the bigger picture. The other funds that come from the royalties have to make up the difference. And we'll have to still come up with $1 million just on this year's budget. Next year, it's going to be $1 million plus.
So let's split the difference and go for the 5. Go for the 5.
We got a citizen that maybe she can weigh in from a citizen's perspective.
Can you
Say
speak for
it,
the whole
just speak
township?
it.
All right.
No, I would like to know at what rate are we, I see see new projects, new buildings coming up, homes. Are we looking at how fast we are growing, because that's new revenue? And how long do you want, it's not just how many meals, how long do you want, because if you go lower, then make it for a shorter range, but if you go higher, make it a little bit longer. I might have it backwards in my mind, so I'm just saying, if I'm confused and I'm sitting here and can ask questions, reading it will be even more. So I like the dollar. When you do the dollar, I can consume it, I can
Yep.
understand it.
It's gonna be part of our education campaign, because people have to understand.
Right, so I like the dollar, when you put the dollars to it, that helps a lot. But we're growing too, so.
Yeah, but that's a drop in the bucket.
Well,
The
Yeah.
income from
Well,
that's a drop in the bucket. It all goes to Wayne County.
yeah, well, and I think the key that we're growing is one of the issues. You know, we've had our trailer parks, you know, have revitalized themselves, and we've had a 20-30% increase in population, which is increasing, you know, the runs, which, you know, everything goes up, you know, for our fire and our police when we're having to do so many more runs. I think our runs, chief, are up 50% the last 4 years.
I have to get those figures for you, but that's close.
Yeah.
50% of our runs are to the trailer
No,
park?
no, we've increased our runs, calls for service 50%.
How much percentage of our runs are to trailer parks?
30?
Basically, it's about 31 for the PD and about 35 or 36 for the fire department.
But it's just an overall, I mean, the point there was that the population in those areas have gone up tremendously, which puts a strain on the services, and those services have to be paid for. We all agree that they're not paid for at the appropriate equal rate that
How
the trailer
do we
parks.
go about increasing that rate? Are we just, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, that's a private entity, right?
Yeah,
Well,
but
they-
you can only tax the value of the land itself, you can't
Yeah.
tax the
It's a
units.
state law.
Yeah, it's a state.
I mean,
State
the
law.
Tax them
lobby-
as a whole, it's probably an incorporated, right, I would think.
Yeah,
right?
but it's just, all you can tax is the land, so the land value is minuscule compared to what the funds they're generating, but that's your lobby for the manufactured housing community. If they would let us tax the units themselves, then we would get to some even level, but,
But state law.
It's a
is not
state
gonna work
law.
that way.
yeah, right.
So they're 30% of our population, they account for approximately, police and fire, 34% of the runs, but they only contribute 2.2% towards the villages.
Right.
Now, how does that fare in normal circumstances? It's not, I mean, Sumpter should have a loud voice, but we're a small community. And so,
Well, and that's a huge statement there, chief. The 30% of the population is contributing 2.5% of the millage and of the total millage dollars, which means 70% of the population is footing the bill for 98% of the cost.
So
Yep.
when you change the millage, does it go up for the trailer parks as well?
It will, but it'll still be minuscule. Even, yeah, it's minuscule.
Yeah, because they're not paying individually. They're,
Right,
the people that own
The
it
owner.
How long has it
are
been like
paying
that?
for the property that all those units are on.
Nobody
It's
ever tried it.
completely
I mean,
unfair,
They got a
and
bunch
it's
of good
state
lawyers.
law.
they fight it, but when it comes changing, you get the lobbyists that come in with tons of money.
Right.
You know, how, do you wanna be the Speaker of the House next year when your term is up, when your third term is up, so you need money? Well, I hope you understand that we're expecting the votes to go against any increases in taxes. And here we come, you know, our hair is wet because we're sweating so much down here, and they say, do the best you can. Look,
The
we've
good thing,
been there,
Mrs.
right?
Harris, is that you're already paying most of that right
Yeah,
now.
that helped when you, because I kept thinking it was a 7 on top of it, but that was a total.
But we can stop
so like
from
the
any
main
more
house,
coming in,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, because they're
Well,
just
yeah,
gonna
'cause
raise it
otherwise
that
Russell
much
Road,
more, but
it's
when you
been
look
there
at the
for,
total,
it's
you're
been
thinking,
plans for
wow,
25
you're already
years.
paying this much
That's
of
the
it.
last one.
We all are.
We're trying to take us to
I'm trying to do that as a stick bill, and I'm trying to entice them to maybe we can participate in some sewer.
Exactly, exactly.
Man, that's tough.
You know, we got a good
like
police
those.
force.
I'd like those.
If we don't pay these guys, they're going off to the other guys.
It would go through, I mean, it's
I'm just the treasurer.
I get it. Trust me, I get it. I just don't know if it's solvable.
We're having a meeting amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
It's the, I mean,
Chair,
if we had that answer, it'd be a no-brainer, right?
Chair,
Okay,
if,
so what-
if, I know we've had some things floated back and forth, we've had a 5 and a 6. And I would, I'd make a motion to, move on the police, millage renewal language, that Sumpter shall impose an increase up to 5 mils. And we gotta adjust the language there, Rob, does that goes to $4 per
Yeah,
thousand?
I'll get that.
Yeah,
I'll get
so
that.
I'll read it too, so it'll be up to 5 mils, to be $5 per $1,000 of taxable value, and the tax limitations imposed under Article 9, Section 6 of the Michigan Constitution, and levy it for 4 years, 2026 through 2029, inclusive, for police protection, operations, and maintenance of the Sumpter Township Police Department, which 5 mils increase will raise an estimated $2,428,884 in the first year of the millage levy. And I would please ask that my numbers be checked, but I did take the 4 and just add the 1-year millage of $485 to come up with the $2,428,884.
Given my math, I won't say deficiency, but challenge is, that's why I go to Julie and have her give me those numbers. Even if it turns out that I'm right, I just want her to do it.
I'll support that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays?
Should have a roll call.
Yeah,
maybe.
roll call.
And roll
Yeah,
call
do
vote.
a roll call, Tim.
Bowman, yes. Laporte?
Yes.
Patterson?
Yes.
Addie?
Yes,
Frazier?
Yes.
Honey?
Yes.
Rush?
Yes.
Motion
Okay, Sammy will have it tomorrow morning, because she needs it by 4 o'clock.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.